world's most thankless jobs.
What are you doing,
being
Kenny?
a crime scene cleaner.
Okay, that's a worse job, clearly. Never mind. How long is this video?
Everybody loves true crime nowadays.
Okay.
People will happily sit and watch hours upon hours of content about serial killers, hacking people up to bits, people getting murdered and everything, and they're just like, that's weird. There's the true crime scene. But do they ever think about how fucking gruesome the aftermath is, huh? Well,
Yeah, I wouldn't. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Yeah.
Profession, you have to. What many people don't realize is that cleaning up after blood-soaked crime scenes can't be done by just anyone.
I couldn't do it. You have to be like a crazy. You cannot be mentally insane and decide to be a crime scene cleaner. Those two things don't mix. It's horrible. Like imagine like come in and they're like, okay, we need you to work. Somebody just killed themselves, and then they've also ended up shitting themselves too. You need to clean that up. How do you clock into work every day and be like, yippee, I can't wait to do this? A murder? Wow. You're gonna get paid extra.
Companies whose sole purpose is taking on this type of job, and you'd be surprised at how intense and dangerous it can get. I find this hard to believe, but crime scene cleanups didn't really exist until the 1960s. Everything before that.
Is that young of a profession?
Let's clean it up. Which is kind of wild to think about.
You clean it up yourself.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Just or whatever. Not until the 60s, until they're like, we should probably have to pay someone to do this, right?
So what were they doing?
There was no specialty crew tasked with doing the cleanup. Police officers and investigators would do the work themselves. That is, until it became clear that handling these kind of biohazardous materials was incredibly risky and required trained professionals. From here, the crime scene industry took off.
I've seen this guy on TikTok. It actually makes very intriguing content.
All, there's no shortage of work to be done. The job isn't just about scrubbing blood from a wall. There's all sorts of biohazard cleanup that needs to be done in most cases. You can't just sit there and be like, well, this guy was shot and stabbed 27 times. Let's do a quick pass. He was sitting here for 3 weeks, so his skin is a part of the carpet. Let's do a quick pass. Get the scrub daddy and a wet cloth. We'll be out here in 5 minutes. Like someone's entire imprint, like one of those Hiroshima shadows or something like that. You're like, oh, that's gonna come right out. It very often includes cases of natural death.
What kind of cleaning products must they have? Like they must have a specific cleaning products in terms like for this type of job. Like some like things you just can't even get off the shelf.
As well as even deceased hoarders, sending in entire crews out to sort out all the piles of belongings. Not only that, but because the job is required after the loss of a life, crime scene cleaners must also be trained to give emotional support and resources to the families during the worst moments of their life, which I will say the first or second round of the cleaners, that must have been pretty brutal for the recipients. So,
Jesus.
sorry. I'm new to this. I'm sorry. Or whatever. That's a bummer.
Imagine coming back to the same house. Back again, huh?
hate to say deja vu, but here we are again. Today, you can find ads for crime scene clean.
What could have possibly what could have happened here? What could have happened here? A dead person? Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I would just nope. I mean, to be honest, who would?
Plastered all over social media, giving promo codes for training discounts underneath before and after pictures of straight up murder scenes. It's an awesome kind of way of being like, you want to get into this? Also, that would be a job too, where I'm like, there must be help wanted posters everywhere. Someone please help us.
You think so? I think it's like it'd be like everybody running to get it because it's such a.
You would want to do it? Would you want to do it?
It pays well.
Well, see, that's what you're also like a rat. You're like a man who's just like, I don't know. I mean, do I get to eat the skin afterwards? Or you would have to be so, I mean, like probably the same way that like those investigators have to become desensitized or leave that shit at the door. That's what I respect the most about these kinds of people that are doing these jobs is being able to like separate the horrors of mankind and just like the realities of mankind, and then be able to go home and be like, oh baby, look at this. You painted a rabbit, and then not just see like a dead woman's face on it. Peter Cottontail looks a little different.
I don't think I'd do it.
But seriously though, like how do you go to sleep at night after like a hard day's work of this? I don't know. It's just never a joke. I couldn't do it.
But
no, I mean, I just think it's easier to just be like, oh, if it pays well, I'd do anything. You hear a lot of people say that. A lot of people are just like, well, I mean, it pays more than what I make now. But you don't think about the mental baggage that comes with it. I feel like it'd be a lot. It'd be
Bag's a
hard.
bag.
I don't think I could do it. I'd mentally snap. I feel like I'd peek into one room.
Okay. The fuck, man.
Shut the door. I am sorry.
Why does
for your
Papa
loss,
Meat
but I
love?
am
Why does he love such
confident.
disgusting
That's
things?
what I'd be like.
I'd wear those like meta glasses.
I mean, his videos are so good, but like, I just hate when he has some
Looking at the
ugly
dead
stuff
body.
in the
Yeah, the dead
video.
body's just a giant like beanie baby. I'm like, look at you.
When you were a kid, did you ever fantasize about like how to get away with murder?
Nick?
Just want to take a second to thank our sponsor, GamerSubs, for being one of our.
I ain't getting paid, so I'm skipping the
But the job is
ads.
not for the faint of heart. Crime scene cleaners are pushed into truly horrific scenarios, taking the sights and smells that accompany them.
I mean, that ad is
compares
just
the
showing a
smell
very
to meat
tame,
that's been
like,
left out
cleanup.
for 3 weeks, which is like that. It just smells like rot. There's
Why is he
it's like almost
eating it?
Sewagey rot, but then also it always has like a coppery, bloody smell to it.
Ugh.
Smelt the dead body?
No, dude. No. I mean, to be fair, I've been the only
Who's the guy on it? Who's the guy behind the camera, man? Seriously, who's the guy behind, like, off screen?
body I've been
He's
around.
had some
I went to my,
stabbed
grandpa's
stories.
open casket funeral. And I remember I was like 7. I told my mom, I'm like, why do we do that? And my mom was like, I don't know. Because I remember being like, oh, I was like really sad that my grandpa was dead, obviously. And I like went over and looked at him, and he's just like this stuffed chemical doll. And he's just like, it was horrifying. Honestly, I think it scarred me for life.
I'm
But that
so
doesn't sound
happy I haven't
obviously
gone to a
dead
funeral
body
before,
just, like,
man.
suck all the blood out, all yada yada yada. But no, I haven't smelled a dead body. This, on top of hearing from traumatized friends and family members, can do serious mental damage. Cleaners are also expected to be in this environment between several hours to several days, depending on how big the job is. It's not all uncommon for CSC workers to get some form of PTSD due to the nonstop trauma that they are tasked to face. That would be a mental hurdle too. Look at your work schedule. One day there. Yeah. 4 days.
Quadruple
It's like, that's gonna be a
homicides.
gruesome fucking scene. I just had a guy who like shit himself to death. It was a quick in and out, and this is like, oh, this is a whole family that died from like a murder or something. And you're like, oh, fun. I can't wait to unpack that later in life, because I feel like there's no way to. It would be impossible. I'm very much fine, like realizing right now these CSC workers, whatever, have the mental fortitude of gods. Like I don't know how
It's
you can do
insane.
it. I couldn't.
I'm gonna change my answer to no.
You can't change your answer, Nick. You know why you also can't change your answer is because you've asked, like, ever fantasize about getting away with killing somebody? You ever smell a dead body, Hunter? Also, before we were recording this, I just want to say Nick was sitting in his chair doing this. Oh. And I was like, what's going on? He's like, it's my testicles. I was like, are you having testicular torsion in front of me right now? He's like, so what do we want to do with this? I'm like, don't give me thoughts of war. He's like, ooh. Just sitting there, not moving, having testicular torsion. Go to a doctor.
I'm fine. It doesn't hurt anymore.
Bro, can I confess something, man? I don't know what I did while I was sleeping, right? But I woke up and my ball... just, how am I can't talk about? I woke up, right? And I don't know if I slept incorrectly, but for some reason my flipping, my dingling hurt so much. It was like static electricity every time I'd walk, and it was horrible. And then I remember I told my friends about this. I was like, guys, bro, I'm having a horrible day. My dingling's been hurting so much. And I just got laughed at. I just got violated so badly. And I was in genuine pain too. So like I was tearing up, not because of the insults, because of like how much pain I was in. And then these guys are just saying, and these guys are just yeah, just oh god, man. Yeah, any pain down there is horrible.
The pain. Oh, he subsides, Hunter. I'm fine. Like drop your pants. There's like these big two.
I think it was Sam and Andy and Thomason were in the parties. I was just so fucked.
This is what Italian balls look like. The scene of a crime is teeming with viruses, mold, bacteria, and bloodborne pathogens. And CSE workers have recounted times where even the slightest mistake
Why is it
has
never
led
a
to
clean
serious
home?
consequences.
Why
the
is it
time
never a
cleaner had
clean
his gas
home?
mask slightly loose, leading him to catching a norovirus and being bedridden for a week straight. That's where it would me up too. I'm too lax with that stuff. Like I air fry a piece of chicken, and you're like, that looks pink, and I'm like, no, I think it's all right. That would be me. They're like, your thing looks kind of loose. It's covered. That I would be the person where then it's like, cut to a week later, I'm completely bald in the bed, just like, I feel thin, Nicholas. That's what I would say. You might be wondering why anyone would subject themselves to this type of chaos day in and day out.
I feel like it's the same mentality of cave divers. Cave divers. Why the fuck are we cave diving? Sorry, excuse me, a little bit of a tangent. Cave diving has to be the worst hobby easily. Nothing comes close. Like, in a world where you can dance, you can, I don't know, collect taxidermies, play basketball, swim. You choose cave diving? Like, you want to spend your time on Earth going through a dark, wet, cramped cave and be like, oh, that's fun. That's absolutely amazing. We're going through this little cave, guys. It's called the Devil's Asshole. We're just squeezing in. I can barely move or breathe. This is exactly how I want to spend my Saturday night.
Well, it turns out that,
but like, and they do it for free too. Like, oh my god, cave divers.
When I was reading this really thing.
Wait, what? A disclaimer? Whatever the hell. And does not represent the opinion. Shit. Oh, shit.
Like in India, the basically subhuman.
Yeah, but then here's the thing. Yeah, I get that. Caves of crystals. But like, you can go on a tour for that. You don't have to dive deep into like a tiny, like this, like, you don't have... If you want crystal, you want to go to a crystal cave, go to a crystal cave tour. You do not need to be diving in like tiny gaps of dark, wet, moist, dingy holes. Pores.
Cast. They're the cast. They are the untouchables. This is their belief system, not mine. The untouchables are like seen as the lowest of the low, but they do like the most important jobs of like removing dead bodies, cleaning sewers and stuff. People make fun of them.
Nick's
and,
so like
beat them in the streets. So
they beat them in the street for what?
For being untouchables. There's like there's a video of like this guy. He's crying. He's like, and these kids are throwing rocks
very
at
true,
him,
very
calling
true.
Him names, but he can't do anything because he's the lowest caste system.
It's just masochism.
And
like, it's
they're
just
called
pure
untouchables because if you
masochism.
touch them, you become one of them. So if they touch you, you could like charge them.
You're saying they're straight up grinching our Indian brethren? My God, you're a meat one, Mr. Indian. You really are untouchable.
Let's do a fact check.
Also, I want to say the entire time, editor, put all kinds of text warnings that are all around saying that, with arrows being like, this man has nothing to do with that. All right. This is not a part of our warm up before we get into this. That came out of no. You're a meat one, Mr. Indian. I was going to say though, CSC workers, if they're not getting paid well, like if it was a thing, like teachers don't get paid shit. Can you imagine CS? Yeah, we don't get paid that well. I'd be like, run away from that job. Run away. At least there's the noble aspect of like, it's a job that has to be done. Same with teaching. Usually I would say a lot of teachers get into it because they like the academia system, or they probably had a teacher as well who's like, this person changed my life and they want to do it. So
I feel like teaching is just like an important job though. Teachers are getting paid so much more. So much more.
Pressed. I bet to find someone who's like, oh, I actually really love it. For the CSC worker. I'm don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's a guy who's like, I've been doing it and they're whatever. But I don't think someone's just like, when I grew up, I want to clean up crime scenes or whatever. Or people that say that, it's like usually some like edgy goth kid who's like 14. Your pay depends on how experienced you are and what you're able to handle, with some top earners being able to rake in a large
Would I teach? Fuck no. I respect teachers so much, right? I wouldn't be as smart or as well informed as I am without a teacher, but I'm never doing that job. Oh my, like imagine you go in and then there's like a bunch of little shits in your classroom just violating you. No respect, no nothing. They don't listen to anything you do. And then if they do shit in class, you get in trouble. Huh? Like, it's just, oh God, no, man. But then, like, even teachers that are calm, right? And they don't yell at you, they don't do anything. People still take the piss out of you. Like, if I'm going to teach, I'd say I teach nursery kids because like they're less likely to be arseholes to you. Generally, like you tell them to go, over there, they'll go over there. Tell them to hold their ears, to hold their ears, right? Like a secondary school teacher, hell no. Primary school teacher, yeah. Nursery school teacher, optimum. Hell, flipping. What's the one before nursery? Reception. A reception teacher, easy. Give them some milk, give them some cookies. Tell them to sleep on that side of the classroom. Free bag. Professors. Here's the thing about being a professor, right? You've got to deal with okay, if you're a professor in uni, right? You have an image in your head that the people going to uni aren't gonna be complete fucking idiots, right? But then, like, the things I heard my fellow peers asking my professor, you'd wonder, like, how the hell did you get past secondary school? So at the same time, I don't know, like, being a professor, plus they also like strike a lot, so they're probably not getting paid as much as they should. I don't know. Being a professor is not as bad as being in a secondary school, but plus you're like with adults too as well. So like the most a professor would have to go through was like those really eager students. Those students were like always like, oh teacher, I know the answer, I know the, like those people who are always flexing their knowledge in uni. Like, because like think of it this way, right? If somebody comes into your class as a professor in uni and they spend their time violating you, they're wasting their money. Like, they're literally going into class to violate you while you're getting paid and they're losing money. That would make me happy. I'd laugh at everything they say to me, because I'm like, wow, you're going to be in so much debt and you're going to have to redo my class. And I control your grade. I could literally fail you. And you'd literally have to and you literally have to spend like a month debating that grade with the school board. I could do that. I could ruin your life. Yeah, a professor have way more power over like the student in university. So I think I'll be a professor or a reception student
revealed that he's
or
made
a reception teacher.
$46,000 during the course of one weekend cleaning up a crime scene. He recalls his first job being so brutal that he shifted between almost fainting and nearly throwing up.
What could he have?
Everywhere. I mean, it's brains over here, brains over there. I go
walk
over to it, dude, and I start like choking up and like felt like I was gonna faint. I almost passed out. I really didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
But also, he probably almost shifted and fainted from being like 46 G's in one weekend. I'm fucking dizzy too. 46 G. It ain't worth it though.
46 grand is not worth it for that kind of mental.
Man, Ben Giles, started a similar business in the UK that became a multi-million-dollar company. Of course, that is not without his fair share of horror stories. He's
a lot of
seen
stabbings,
bathtubs fully filled with piss and shit. Filled! Dead bodies from hoarders trapped in their own filth.
Okay, but why? I could understand if it's like a crime scene. What crime could involve you pissing and shitting in the bath? What crime could involve you shitting and pissing in the bath? What crime? What could have happened in the crime scene for that to be an entire tub of piss and shit? I don't think a murder would cause that.
Hundreds of needles, a pile of oily pig skins, and perfect skeletons still fully dressed in clothing they died in. And in one instance, he was called over to a supermarket on Christmas Day because a flustered employee decapitated a horse and dragged its head into the establishment to get his revenge. Do you think that they approach it the same way that they would do like a detailed car cleaning? Like, does the guy be like, so he dragged it here? The dispatcher, so yeah, I mean, it's a guy, like, he died in his own shit and piss, and there's like a dead horse or something, blah, blah, blah. Let me see if there's anything else in the notes. Get children crying. You'll figure it out when you get there. Is it as casual as that? It has to be. When it becomes a job and you see that, you have to become desensitized to it a bit. There are piles upon piles of stories told by current or former crime scene cleaners, each more absurd than the last. During a Vice interview, yeah, Vice, one anonymous CSC worker sheds light on a lot of insane scenes they walk into. She recalls the first time she had to clean up chunks of brain. Insane scenes they walk into.
She's bolding.
She recalls the first time she had to
so
clean
I didn't
up
have, I'm
chunks
sorry, I had
brain.
to.
When you go to clean brain, it mushes into the ground. it doesn't just come off. You kind of have to pick up every little piece before you start scrubbing.
During one meth lab cleanup in a trailer, they found a man still inside cooking. They threatened to call the police and he didn't leave. He told them, quote, "If I had a gun, I'd shoot you." Fun! During the scene of another meth cleanup, meth is such a reoccurring character in these stories. I wonder if it's... During the scene of another meth cleanup, the owner had just escaped police in the middle of shooting
That'll be Breaking
graphic
Bad.
video. When the cleanup crew arrived, they found the apartment covered in cinnamon-scented lube, alongside jars full of his own semen that he had been saving. That's really, they don't tell you about the CSC. It's not just dead bodies. You're gonna get some like weird meth head.
I mean, that is true though. Like like in my mind, I think it's murder scenes, but
at all times.
that could
They say that
it could be any
That's how
crime.
it
It
works,
could.
too.
No. What? I can't believe just constant moisture. All right. On pleather couches. All right, I'll believe it. 32-year-old Scott Vogel claims that he's been doing it for so long that he no longer feels the need to wear heavy-duty respirators. Instead, opting for a thin mask because he can no longer care about the smell of death.
Oh,
and
why
gore.
would
I also wonder how
you
much of
need
too is
that,
because of the
though? Like,
chemicals
what?
used. Adam, comparing Adam to a CSC worker, Adam, aka Creature Kid, I think that he's consumed so many, or not consumed, but it's like he's been around so many of the chemicals or fumes that I think that it's just, he doesn't have any smelling left, or so he can't even smell it. When I was getting my like prosthetics made on my for the short film, whatever, it was insane. Like it'd be like, oh yeah, it'd be crazy. Or it'd burn your eyes, and he's like, I don't even smell it now. It was just like all in his face, and he was just applying it, which is just. But that's what I mean is like, I bet you anything, he's just like, I don't. Why even put the respirator on? I can't even smell it anyways. Mike Andrews, who's part of one of the longest running crime scene cleanup emergency response units, has seen all sorts of insane things. For example, one hoarder home he attended had a ceiling high pile of used condoms.
A ceiling high pile of used condoms. Like up to here, Was it just him? I mean, I'm asking the wrong questions, but was it just him at the scene? Was it just one guy?
In another instance, a deceased man had hundreds of those surrounding a sex chair as some sort of shrine. Terry Hayter, a forensic
Was it
cleaner,
just
many
one
people
guy
died
who
while
did all?
laying on the
I don't know.
mattress. And
I'm
because
asking the
of
wrong
this, all the
questions.
body fluids leak onto it like a sort of like giant sponge. Something way less glamorous that you might see in shows like Law and Order, where they're laying there like, deaded, whatever, and they're like looking at the body. It's like, no, it's just a bulged out juicy mattress, like a giant hunk of meatloaf. How nasty is that, man?
I think they resell the mattresses.
Why would they, Nick? Why the fuck would
One of
they?
the most putrid parts of the job is cleaning up after a body that has been left unattended for a long time. Not only is their flesh rotting, but the smell is almost unbearable to many. A cleaner named Timothy Molesworth had once been tasked with cleaning the body of a man found dead in his bathroom an entire month after the fact. She went on to say, quote,
Oh,
"I
imagine
literally
the
had to
smells.
scrape the deceased body matter off the floor tiles into plastic bags. The body wasn't even there. It was just so completely gone." There's like some TikTok videos where you see of people that go into hoarder homes, and they have like shovels and all kinds of like, almost like equipment that you would use to scrape ice off a car or something to get it out of like grout and stuff. What's so crazy to me is like, how as a homeowner, which it also just goes to show fucking landlords and stuff or whatever, how do you not rip everything out and just be like, start from scratch? Because that shit has to go down to the baseboards. Like, I bet you the baseboards are fucking, like the actual, or the subflooring of the thing are stained. One of the most insane examples of this story is told by
That's actually
Kelly
true.
Olszewski, who witnessed a man who had died from a heart attack underneath a shower that had been running continuously for weeks. It went on for so long that his body melted, clogged the drain, and had his sludgy remains poured out all
How is that possible biologically or chemically? Generally, like water, just like just plain shower water cause like a body to melt. I don't know the chemistry or biology after like behind the bass is crazy, man.
because they're like, huh?
There's actually an app in China that says like, "Are you dead yet?" or something. Basically, you check in every day.
Oh wow.
And to see if you're alive, and if you don't check in, they have
Dude,
someone come.
this is, I feel like a lot of people hear about this, but people that are, I live by myself in New York, in like a giant apartment complex, which also has tons of people smoking, doing whatever, which might hide the smell a little bit, or it's like funky and you're like, oh, my neighbor's smelling like shit. I would be like, it's mandatory. You have to tell us that you're alive, you know? Back in the early 90s, one man was hired to clean up a crime scene taking place in a rich Los Angeles home in the hills. And according to him, the home was so large that you could easily get lost inside. It even contained an elevator. All the paperwork was done before via fax, so they got to work without meeting anyone that owned the home or was related to the victim. All they knew was that a businessman was killed inside the home, which is also just horrifying. You don't talk to anyone else, they're just like, someone died in there. Go into that dark labyrinth. Well, which room is it? You'll see. Go past the 3 cuckoo clocks and past the dark man's room. That's where you'll find him. The first thing they saw was copious amounts of water damage, leaving them to believe the killer might have left the faucet on after doing the deed, much like the wet bandits in Home Alone. It had seemed that an electrician may have shut off the power in certain parts of the home due to the water damage, leaving parts of the home eerily dark. And at one point, one of them was taking debris towards the exit when all the lights suddenly turned off. Every time the lights would turn back on, a completely different room was shut down in its place. People clearly started to get on edge because one crew member started insisting that it would be more efficient to work all together. We should probably just work together. You can tell that's like some like very kid energy. Whenever you're scared playing a game, when I had Quake 2 or 3.
Imagine that, man. You're cleaning a body. Like you're cleaning a body and the lights just go, like, you're just scraping off some brains and then suddenly darkness, absolute darkness. Just like you just see a guy outside the room smiling like this. Horrible. But
anyways, I had that on Nintendo 64 and I'd be like afraid to move forward and I'd be like, hey mom, come check this part out, it's really cool. Just wait for her, she's like, what is it? And I'd finally be able to proceed. She's like, well, what is it? I don't say anything. Everyone was hearing music at some point throughout the house. Closed doors would suddenly be open, and despite nobody going near them, they'd also hear loud, unexplainable banging sounds. Two crew members started taking turns carrying the debris.
Do you play chess? I haven't played chess in a while. I haven't played chess in like 2 years.
Fuck that.
I think I played with Sam, and I always drew with Samuel, so I'm technically undefeated.
Then a third coworker
Sam couldn't beat me because I kept on somehow like drawing because I didn't know the rules of chess.
Raised their voices at all.
So he just couldn't beat me, and I just always draw with him.
Complete stranger walk by him.
I mean, that's why I have undefeated chess champion on my Discord still.
Some of them were convinced that the person was hiding inside the home, messing with the lights, playing with the music, sneak up close to them to freak them out. Which I will say, we meme on a lot of ghost shit, whatever, on the channel. This does sound like somebody who's just like, it's probably just somebody messing with us, and it was like some actual weird, crazy paranormal shit. This also,
I mean, it is LA. I wouldn't put it past him.
Session 9, which I want to shout out that movie, Session 9. It's one of those movies that you'd be like, you wouldn't expect it. You're like the cover, it looks like kind of like a Walmart DVD bin thing. It's like an early 2000s like weird paranormal movie, but that entire sequence reminded me of that movie Session 9. So hey, shout out Session 9. If anything, play a little clip from it.
Okay. Jeff, Meg, go downstairs, make sure he doesn't turn around. You come with me. Hey. Fuck you.
There you go. In the world of crime scene cleaners, it's said that you gain a much larger respect for life as well as
bugs are so I hate bugs.
Share this respect, however, which leads to some pretty absurd crimes. The company Crime Scene Cleaners from New Zealand felt the need to post images of horrific scenes from their jobs on social media accounts.
I remember Scrum and only 1 year.
And upon investigation,
one thing I'll say about T1, right? You can say a lot of things about him. He's bald. He's muscular. What else? He can be sometimes aggressive. He may have he might be missing a couple of things up there, but you can never say he's not determined. If he puts his mind to one thing, he'll be the best at it, easily, every single time. I remember this guy played Street Fighter, and then he got to a really, really high ranking Street Fighter after like a month. It's just built different, man. It's just built different.
It was discovered that their Facebook page alone posted countless photos containing the aftermath of domestic abuse cases, unattended deaths, and even suicides. One particularly gruesome post showed a victim's remains being scraped off a train. And in the photo, the crew member was holding up a human bone with a toothy grin on his face and a caption stating, "I'm very happy with his find." If that wasn't tone deaf enough, other posts showing maggot-infested bodies were captioned, "Human reigns for these fat weebies."
I can't look.
does that even mean, you psychos? Police had gotten involved and all the posts were taken down, but the company essentially got off with a warning based on them being seemingly remorseful, which, you know what, I will say it feels very tone deaf, but I can also see what they're saying of like trying to normalize a job that maybe gets scrutiny online or whatever. But
I
have
guess
the awareness to be like, man, that's somebody's like relative or whatever, or to like lift up somebody's bone and be like, oh, look, what is that? Other cleaners, like an employee from Clean Scene AZ, were causing problems from the very beginning of the job. They sent photos to their client, who was the niece of the deceased, to show their progress. Hey, so your dad's scalp and his other stuff, that's all, we got it cleaned up a little bit, but you can see it's still a bit of his calf and some toes, so we'll get that tomorrow. One of the photos was of a completely different house. That's not my mom. Oh, my bad. Wrong one. New phone. Sorry, who is? Just kidding. Then one employee, Deborah Claywell, brought along people who didn't work for the company to come along and take all of their valuables. When the niece returned to the home, the garage...
that's fucked, man. That's like, imagine you get a message by your brother or mother or sister or brother, whatever, right? They die, and then you come to see like how the crime scene is, and they just take your mum's chair, your mum's bed, your brother's flipping iPhone. That's like, I hope they got sued.
And a car was missing. And not only that, but they had stolen jewelry, money, and the deceased woman's credit card before going on a spending spree. Clean AZ refused to take any of the blame, but eventually offered a full refund for their services before firing Deborah. I mean, listen.
A full refund?
Bad eggs doesn't mean we can put it all on us. Which I will say, if it's that egregious, this is me just don't have any proof, but I'm just saying it feels like anytime I've ever been in a job, like working at like a grocery store, if somebody gets caught doing something, it's because they probably learned it from somebody else, or they like have done it together. It's truly strange just how fascinated people are with the darkest and most gruesome side of society. It's long since been a fascination for the younger generation, who will gladly watch videos of influencers deep
As a leak, right? Oh my.
or graves.
Don't speak to me about League, Taha, please. Like, look at the smile on my face. Why do you want that smile to go away? I haven't played League since the beginning of the new season. Last season I peaked gold. Was it gold 3 or gold 2? I peaked gold 3 or gold 2. I'm not sure. But yeah, I peaked gold last season. This season I have no motivation. I can't do it. I got to gold last season, playing ADC as well. But bro, I can't, man. I have such little motivation to play League. Let me wait. Let me show you something, right? Let me show you the stuff I had to go through. Pictures, screenshots. Let's see. Let me show you what I had to go through. What tomfoolery I had to play with. Look at this. Is this one of them? Look at this, Taha. Look at this. You're talking to me about League. Let me zoom this one in. Look at the stats. Sam plays occasionally. I used to play with Sam a bit, but like none of us can be asked to play it. Let's analyze this. I know this is upending the reaction, but I need to get this off my chest. Look at the damage I did. Look 100k. 100,000 damage. One character, 100,000 damage. Right? Look at the enemy ADC. Look how Gangshu in the, like, I can't, oh my god. Look. And we lost the game. That was, oh my god. I can't believe it, bro. Did I even finish doing my promos? How can I get, like 100k? I did more than most of my team by myself. And I could, all I needed was a team. All I needed was somebody, anybody, top and jungler were born off their mother's ass. Like, they were born from their mother's asses, man. Literally, they went to the nearest mental asylum and took the most brain dead, mentally troubled people. Took them home, bought them a PC, downloaded League, and then bought them accounts, and then let them go in. We're still like, do you know how? Oh my god, 22 for 10. Oh, it's pissing me off. It's back to reaction. Back to reaction.
Even as recently as 2024,
Back to reaction.
there was a
Back to
cleaning
reaction.
simulator game
Back to reaction.
called Crime Scene Cleaner, in which you play a man working for the mob. The game is essentially just cleaning up murder scenes in an oddly satisfying way. I think it's kind of like the one where you have like the power washer. Like that game, is that just called Power Washing Simulator?
I think I had this on
It's the way that
PS.
those
That
games,
just scared
almost like
me.
a slot machine, where it sounds cleaning
Yeah,
off. It's
no,
almost ASMR or
nope,
something.
nope,
So I
nope.
could see
I don't need
someone
league in my
cleaning up
life
that
in my
shit.
life
There's
right
even
now.
a biohazard cleanup company called Spalding Decon that hosts the crime.
I don't
scene
make.
cleaning
Honest, I
YouTube
have no
channel,
need
posting
to play
videos
it. I don't have
documenting their
a. I don't
cleaning
have the
adventures.
dog
The channel has
inside me
1.5
dead.
million subscribers, and their most viral video
Yo, let's see
titled
one
Filled with
game.
Chunks
I don't
of
have it
Flesh
installed.
shows them
I
cleaning
deleted
up after a
Vanguard,
mother
Riot
passed away
Client,
in the
and
bathtub.
League.
Comments on this video repeatedly point out how
I'm not.
insane it is that they're so disgusted
I'm
by
so
it.
done
They
with the
keep watching
game. I
because they're
can't
so
do it anymore.
fascinated. Which is true. It feels kind of taboo almost, doesn't it? It's like something you shouldn't watch, but you do. And also, I feel like a lot of these channels are a bit more respectful with. They're not like showing anything crazy, but they are showing like this is what the reality of it is, which I think it's kind of like admirable. Like whenever I saw even the people cleaning hoarder houses, unfucking believable, man. And it is insane too to be like, look at what this person was able to like completely turn around. And it's like fascinating too to be like, how many times have I been in a place and it's been a crime scene or like stuff that I don't know, like you rent a home, it was a hoarder house before or something. Because I don't think you have to disclose that. I think if you're buying a house, you have to disclose that, like if somebody was like, if it was an active crime scene or something. Oh,
I can't lie. In this housing market, if a house is good enough, right? If a house is like looks good enough, but they told me like 12 people died there. A house is a house. A house is a house. As long as the ghosts can pay rent, I'm fine with them being there. I don't care.
On TikTok, CSC
A house is
workers
a
are
house.
filming their entire process and gaining millions of views. These videos often show blood and filth, likely left up under the label of education content. And also, I think it's satisfying. It's that ASMR. It's like people that deep clean cars. Anticipation and payoff. I see a dirty thing. I see it get clean. That was satisfying. I think it's just like a weird primitive tick in our brains too.
Like car
There are so
detailing
many massively
videos.
important jobs that go unnoticed by the majority of society. It can't be understated that crime scene cleaners are providing a necessary service to society. One that not only keeps things clean, but helps victims mentally prepare for the loss of loved ones. If you find yourself innately fascinated by true crime and want to make a living surrounded by all its dark and seedy elements, maybe this is something you want to do for a living. But just remember that podcasts and movies might not properly prepare you for the horrors that you find inside. Thank you guys so much, and hey,